They say life was meant for good friends and great adventures, and I guess you could say that's what this trip was all about.
Alright guys, so we just arrived at the Cruise Canada headquarters, and we were here the exact same location last year, but this year we got a 30-foot RV, which is absolutely huge. Like, so much storage where we've just packed everything. The group has just packed everything up and then they're just gone to drop the car off, so we'll introduce the group later.
This is inside. We have, come on in Dave, we have a bedroom down here. That's our bedroom. I think this could be possibly claimed as the girls' room. So this is the girls' room. Lovely, lots of storage, we enjoy. Then we have a shower in here and a toilet in here. So then the kitchen, all decked out. You have your stove top, microwave, storage, sink, what you need. The kitchen and the freezer. I think this is Brian's and his dog's bed. And then Sarah, this will turn into a bed as well. So there's so much space.
And there's 5 of us on the trip,
Like,
so like it's
ridiculous amount of storage as
should
well.
be enough space, definitely.
Yeah.
Little puppy out there, Dave. He's not too pleased. Also, Dave. There's 2 Daves in the trip. There's Dave the dog and Dave the human.
This is Dave the human.
Dave the human. No worries.
This is human Dave. And this is poor little sad dog. Oh my god!
We just finished the first leg of our journey. We came up through the Coquihalla Highway, which is notorious for being known as a crazy.
It's insane. Like, you have 4 seasons in 5 minutes. It's a really, really dangerous stretch of highway, and I hate it, but we did it.
You usually see a crash. We seen a crash. We like seen a car upside down. So like it's a crazy section. But we got through there. We're in Kelowna now, and we just stopped at a Walmart, which is just perfect for. Like just getting the shopping in, but also just parking. There's like so much free space. So,
so if you are ever RVing and you're not paying for campsites, Walmart car parks are great.
You actually see a lot of RVs.
Yeah, there's like, I can see 3 from where I'm sitting.
So, next up in this video, I did just want to cover our plan for the next 9 days, where we're traveling, you know, and how far we're gonna go. So, Sean has got them memorized.
So. Today we've driven from Vancouver to Vernon, and that is about a 5-hour drive, so we're just about there. And then from Vernon we are going on to Revelstoke, and from there we're going to Fairmont Hot Springs in BC, and then we are on to Nelson, and then to Merritt and back to Vancouver. So we're doing a nice neat loop, which is highly satisfying.
Yeah, most places we are staying in for 2 nights each time, and we are staying in kind of like actual RV sites. We're not doing any sort of things where we stay in Walmarts, because when there's 5 of us and we split it between 5 people, it works out
so cheap,
pretty reasonable.
Good morning guys, look at my eyes, it's so early. So it's just gone past 5 a.m. and as you know we're in Revelstoke at the moment, which is in British Columbia, but today we decided, because we're so close to the border of Alberta, that it would be the best day to cross that border. So let's get into it.
We have 274 kilometers of just straight with this beautiful view all around us before we cross into Alberta. So like absolutely no complaints. I'm definitely waking up now compared to the first shot this morning. Alright guys, so we just arrived in Banff. It's so quiet up here obviously because of the lack of tourism, which is kind of sad to see, but also means we can park. Apparently it's like really tough to get parking here usually. We are like in a spot, no hassle, straight up to the top, which is sweet. But I just wanted to take this chance to answer the first question that came in on a Q&A that I just posted on my Instagram, and that was just kind of the initial cost of running the RV. You get about 450 kilometers per tank, which is about $150 to fill. So now when it comes to the actual cost, it does work out about $150 a night, and then it works out about 34 cents a kilometer as well. So costs do add up, but I would advise just kind of trying to fill the RV with as big a group as possible, so that, you know, for every dollar spent it's divided by 5 for us, or you could have up to 7 people in this RV. Alright guys, I gotta show you the color of this water. Like, I know I've seen so many photos and I've never really known if it's been photoshopped or not, but this is Lake Louise. So we just arrived at our second lake of the morning, which is Moraine Lake. This is definitely far more blue than the first lake, and it's absolutely beautiful. You might have seen this in like Peter McKinnon's videos, or any I guess any Canadian photographer or videographer has been here shooting this lake, so it's incredible. Just wanted to answer another one of the questions in terms of like how many days would I recommend you do an RV trip for. I would say definitely more than a week for sure, because it takes a couple of days to get settled into. Also, if you're coming from Vancouver or BC, it takes a while to get to a distance that you're actually seeing new spots. I always find that we don't get much further than Kelowna unless our trip is like longer than a week. So we're doing 10 days, 9 nights, and I feel like that is the perfect amount of time. I would be aiming for that, or 2 weeks would be absolutely ideal. Yeah, just give yourself enough time, that's for sure. So I'm gonna go enjoy these lakes. The girls are getting some beautiful photos, and it's just photo central today.
Would you recommend booking all the RV sites in advance?
Yes.
100% yes, definitely do.
Yeah.
If you are doing an RV trip, definitely book all of your sites in advance.
Yeah. You want the full hookup if possible, so your sewerage, electricity and water, and if you don't book in advance you're not going to get that.
Yeah, like all of them were full when we arrived, and it's during COVID and it's not even that nice of weather. So.
Yeah, fair.
So yes, and Canadians also like to be really planned, so if you're doing an RV trip, make sure you're planned and do it at like Christmas, because they like to do it.
We're also traveling at a very good time right now, aren't we? Because it's quite empty.
Yeah, but even then it's like
It's still busy.
all the
like,
sites are busy.
This is probably the most beautiful backdrop to film a Q&A. Dave had his first RV experience today. How did you find driving the 30-foot machine?
It was interesting actually. It's kind of you don't want to build up too much pace on it or too much speed.
Yeah, I know.
And I find the steering wheel, you have to constantly be like that when you're driving.
Yeah, it has a lot of pull to it or something.
Yeah, kind of, I don't know what the vibrations or whatever just make it move. But no, it was good. Once you get going, it's just like any other vehicle really.
So when it comes to the RV hookup, we have 3 kind of main elements. We've got electricity, we've got sewerage, and then we've got fresh water. So you've got to just hook all 3 of those up every time you pull in. Sorry if it's a bit windy guys, it's kind of windy in this campsite, but I will do the water first, okay? So the water is just by means of literally connecting it straight in by hose. Then we're onto the sewerage, which is the least fun part because that's where all the poo is. Sewerage is out. Lastly, you've got the power. Pop dropping in here, and that's it. We'll be here for two more days, and we just leave it as is. So like once you're hooked up to that, you can just work away, and everything looks after itself. But obviously if you're on the road, it's a lot more complicated, and you have to dump sewerage and stuff like that. So that's why people pay into the RV sites.
As we got into the swing of things, we started to relax into the RV lifestyle.
We've spent 2 incredible years exploring this country, and this trip was one hell of a way to say goodbye.